they can, they...
Tank boots. They're tanks, they're boots, they're both. People say that trying to be good at too many things means you won't be good at any of them. But we're here to make them eat those words, maybe. You see, people are obsessed with making technology smaller, more portable, wearable. Computers in pockets, cars in shoes, a walking taco? I thought the taco was already walkable. But if we're really to the point where we're wearing fighter jets like they're pajamas, then I'm gonna wear tanks on my feet. But even if I can build them, can they survive the tests? Can we survive the tests? And what would happen if instead of tank boots, they were tank butts? I've got to find out. So let's quickly secure funding from today's sponsor, Opera. Imagine for a moment that a real person just like you sat down and said, what if browsers weren't just boring search bars? That's Opera One, a better browser. Built-in VPN? Check. Ad blocker? Check. Flow file sharing, integrated messengers, integrated players, let me just check. And that's just the warm-up. They've got big tools like their Aria AI built right into the sidebar, but it's the little stuff that does it for me, like tab islands. Imagine, instead of an endless chain of URL blocks, these neat little collapsible, contextually oriented islands are formed automatically to help you navigate your various browsing sessions. Now, I'd never really thought that much about my browser before, but I like using this. Its modular design lets you have the browsing experience you want with the tools you need laid out neatly at your fingertips. So please use my link below to download Opera today. And thank you, Opera, for sponsoring this video. Okay, so a part of me thought that tank boots was a terrible idea, but a part of me really wanted to see just how terrible it was, and if, just maybe, it wasn't actually terrible at all. And it all became possible when I realized that I could buy a tracked snowblower for like 50 bucks. Now, I know you know what a tank is, but there are different types of tank tracks. All tracks have the advantage of insane surface area contact with the ground. Where a car tire can only grab this much ground, a track grabs it all. And while most tanks have multiple wheels with shocks to help them grip the terrain, the snowblower tracks are just two plastic wheels, driven by a chain and sprocket in the middle. And now that these very dirty components were off the snowblower, they'd need a new source of power. Motors. You know the drill. But this isn't just a drill. It's actually a brushless motor, 2-speed gearbox, controller, and throttle grip, all for 40 bucks. And yes, it's brand new, but you just can't think about stuff like that when something like tank boots are on the horizon. And while the outer shell is separated permanently, it's the parts deep inside that longingly wait for the day they will be reconnected. It's Thursday. They get connected on Thursday. The 3 motor wires and 8 sensor wires have to be extended significantly, since the motor goes on the boot, but the controller is in your hand. And this will definitely not cause any issues later on in the testing process. I also decided to beef up the power system with some of my Barbie car LiPo packs, in a tactical front pouch system. It's a fanny pack. Now there is a warning on the drill that says not to use different batteries, but there's an easy fix for that. But no matter how you dress it up, our motor still needs a motor-shaped hole to fill. And in order to be really useful, it's gotta somehow connect with the wheels. So I cut a piece of metal tube with an inner diameter just smaller than the thread size of the drill, then I reamed it out of my CNC, tapped it, then mounted it and a smaller sprocket to the motor. Finally, just connected the motor and the controller to the motor, and I just wanna see if it's gonna work. I would guess that something's not wired up properly because I reversed red and black. And after hours of finicky fiddling, I finally got a taste of torque. I think I broke the transmission. Now, tearing apart a drill transmission is a piece of cake. And like cake, the experience is vastly improved when you drop it on the ground. But working gears or not, it's not gonna matter if we don't have a leg to stand on, or a place to put that leg. This is precisely why I keep scrap metal on hand whenever I find a good deal. And these recycled building materials make a great frame to securely mount a top platform to the load-bearing sides. And at this point, if you are wondering, Joel, why not just be done with it now and use it as a skateboard? Well, I was wondering that too. But this is where we hit our first major design constraint. You see, even though the tracks are wide, they're also flexible. So you are really only balancing on the rigid plastic wheels inside, and those are pretty narrow. Plenty of power, but almost no balance. Wow, this is terrible. So my hand is forced. These will be boots, and that should actually solve our problem.
By attaching ski bindings, I can clip in ski boots, which will lock the tracks to my shin bone, meaning no more wobble. At this point, I finally had enough of a minimum viable product to show my brother.
What? Oh, man.
It's gonna go up and over. You know, if you're on it.
With 2 of these things, you're gonna have more ground contact than you would in a car.
Yeah.
Oh.
There you go. You ready?
Oh, give me that. Ow. Yeah, and honestly, I thought these were gonna be heavier.
I keep going back and forth with this one. Like, this is either really dumb, or this is the greatest idea ever.
Oh, I mean, it's really dumb, but I think it's a great idea.
Dumb or not, it's gotta look the part, and that includes the 30-year-old ski boots. Now at this point, you would think that I'm just about ready to go, but you'd be wrong because I didn't do a very good job.
So this is what happens when you don't use a lathe and instead try and use your CNC machine. That's lovely, just lovely. Also, this gearbox is broken.
So after finding and fixing the broken gearbox switch, I found a local machine shop through a friend so that Taylor could ream the shaft to fix the wobble. Big shout out to my buddy Dan and Dickinson Manufacturing for taking care of this on the spot.
That's awesome, dude.
What do you think it's called?
Off-road skiing?
After tapping, thread locking, threading, mounting, and chaining, this newly straightened drivetrain was ready for its first full test.
All right, how you feeling about these?
So many setbacks and random little things. I'll believe it when they start working. Whoa! All right, bro, I'm gonna need your help. Whoa!
On your shoulders, you push on my forearms.
Sure.
I needed to learn to ease on and off the throttle. Otherwise, my now 7.5-foot frame would come tumbling down. But just like a hesitant monkey at a computer, it was finally starting to click. So yeah, even though I was already exhausted, the tests were just getting started.
Show the course.
We have that, and then wait for it. That.
Whoa. 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 Oh shit. I thought I was gonna go over backwards and I realized just how bad it would be to go backwards. I should, what, tuck? Like, what do I do if I go over backwards?
Wish you had a different job.
This is bad. All right, I'm gonna lean really far forward this time. So using these to like go over small obstacles, not really a good idea. But here, let me show you something real quick. Boom. That's the brilliance of tank boots. They're boots still. All right, enough playing around in the backyard. Let's take these somewhere more formidable, like, say, the biggest, steepest hill in town. I think I'm more nervous for this than I was for the Barbie thing, because I think I'm more likely to get hurt going 3 miles an hour up the hill on these boots than I was doing 65 on a Barbie Corvette. Seriously, you know that feeling in your gut that the odds are stacked against you?
So cool. You like that? Yeah. They're kind of hard to use, and I think I might hurt myself using them.
I mean, it's easy enough to tip over with these boots on a flat surface. And the video really doesn't convey just how steep this hill is. Now, I take a lot of risks on this channel, but they're calculated risks. So when I accidentally sucked the cable into the tracks and then had to do some repairs,
that's all it was.
it gave me a moment to do some of those calculations. The thing is, I almost tipped back so many times. It's horrible. I want to go up the hill, but there's like at least 50% chance I'm gonna fall backwards. And when I do, I'm gonna fall further than normal because I'm higher up and I'm falling on a hill. So I'm gonna fall with enough force to probably concuss myself. I think this is probably a genuinely unsafe thing to keep trying. Okay, big surprise, tank boots suck. And they're too dangerous to even continue testing. But inspiration often strikes when we're at our lowest point. That's actually really fun. It's really fun. Okay, mini tank. So I bolted them together, added a chair, and here it is. For a tank, it's pretty light.
Hey, that's backwards.
Now I'm happy to report that after all of this work and rework, the mini tank configuration solves all of the high center of gravity problems. It even adds new features like 0-degree turning, mower functionality. It is destroying my lawn. Oh my gosh. And catapult mode.
Nah, but seriously, it's about as much fun as you can have with a tiny tank. I mean, the center of gravity is still ridiculously high, but that also makes it ridiculously fun, with much lower stakes than being over 7 foot tall and bolted to it. I think that a radio control system would be ideal for this. I even have an idea for how to do it.
But what I really want to know is, what do you think? Leave me a comment below. And as always, whether or not you like and subscribe, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.
Like RoboCop.
You know what? I didn't even think about that. That's the way to do it. All right.